welcome back to Scott from Wessex Blaze. That is now what I can achieve on the circular sander. I think Mitchell's just offering. What are you? I hope it's food. Oh, come on! What have we got, Mitch?
I was just wondering whether if you want to watch a film tonight, you can watch on my MacBook.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, but my hot dog's coming, is it? Great. He's doing his coursework on a MacBook. The speakers are awesome, so he's just offering to watch a film on it tonight. Cool. So anyway, back to the sander. How about that for some razor sharp corners? Come on, where's the light? There you go. Couldn't have done that on a belt sander as easily. No. So, disc sander, lot of better speed down there, but I knew that because it's coming straight off the plumb thing. So you got all the, basically the further out you go, the faster it's going, more feet per second. So that there is really hacking around, and there you can just control as to where you want it. So you got really square, love it. So these and the other little piece, which is down there somewhere, is the guard for the liquid. So I'll crack on and clean those up. There's the piece. There. So that is going on to there. Cool. I'm going to be drilling that out at some point. Now, surface finishing on this could be quite nasty doing there, but I'll give it a go on camera, laying it up and putting it on with a stick and letting it fall down, just letting it fall when I've finished. Definitely doing it. Like it. So that'll leave me a nice cleanish surface for doing all my marking out. Now it must be a stage everybody else can be when they buy it. Silly me. Right, crack on with that. See you. Yeah, welcome back. This is a bit of a tip marker thing for Surviving to Thriving, Brenton. What I've suggested to you is you get a decent ball peen hammer, whether you've got one or not, I don't know, and a centre punch for marking out your metal, so when you're going to drill it. Now I use cobalt steel drill bits, which are different than high speed steel. Okay, high speed steel generally are black. Cobalt steel have got a very light bronzy colour to them, and they are damn sight harder. But you must use these with sausage and... Thank you, Mitchell! We'll wrap up this for a minute while I eat, because I don't want dirt in my food. Right, check. I'll strike in this area here about 1.5mm in to allow for the diameter of the drill. So I'll strike there, 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 there and there to allow the drills later, when I drill it out bigger in the middle with a bigger drill, to be able to file it away. Now to strike it onto something heavy is far better than on a bouncy wooden bench. And one thing I wouldn't generally strike on would be that. Just in case these stages or these bases are cast, you don't want to put fractures and stresses on them. I'd say something that should be able to take it is the back of a vice. So I'm on my vice here, and it's the big bit out the back. A lot of them have a little square table bit here. I'd strike on there quite happily, because it's quite a sturdy bit of kit on the vice there. But I wouldn't do it on a little drill press stage there. So I'm going to line it up just away from the corners, and then one in the middle. I've really nailed this already. Quite sharp. So there's a ball peen hammer, engineer's hammer, and a centre punch. Give me 6 holes there. Okay, as close as I can get to the camera. Got it clamped on there with wood underneath, and this is the speed you want to get down to. Something like that. Got my thread cutting tapping fluid, but even a drop of oil is better than nothing. You don't want it too dry, and just allow it. I've already centered it up to cut it its own way. So as it goes in, there's a cutting compound, cut and drill. No rough. Just one down. So repeat that with the cold bolt steel bits. Safety note. Yes, the other day I didn't wear my mask, because if you can tell by the sound of the floor, my mask fell off the side and I was blowing bubbles in it. So top marks to the guy who said, "Oi, where's your mask?" Generally I would be wearing a mask on a grinder, and even on this. It's not that much aggro to do that. Still see what you're doing. So, safety. The other little tip I was going to give Brenton was the usefulness of an engineer square. Now the obvious one I'll show you in a minute, which is checking that your bed is 90 degrees. But this is what I use it for as well. Is checking I've got a pretty convex edge. Now, if it's Scandi, that'll sit flat. But as good as my crappy camera can be, this edge is convex. Now in the light, you can see that haze move up and down the blade at different points as I'm moving it. But in your eye, once you get up close, you can use a flat machined edge to check that that is a convex edge as you're doing it, and on both sides. So you see the light wave move up and down there like that. And the obvious one is getting, make sure that's 90 degrees and that to there on the other side, checking that that's 90 degrees. So when you're offering your work up, we're going to get a square edge, and now I've got to show you that trick with a nut on a piece of wood. I'll get that for you in a minute. Right, I'll show you how a machete with nuts sticking out the side. Now you can get the nuts to sink into the wood and grip the wood at the same time. Now if you get your nut, and on here I think I've got an M6 nut, so 6mm bolt goes into there, and it's 10mm across the flats. From there to there is 10mm across the flats, but across from corner to corner it could be about 12mm. So if you get your twist bit and you sit your nut on top, you should be able to feel, by doing this, the edges, as it's flush on top of the drill, the flats are as wide as the drill bit. That's what you want. We'll put this in a drill press. I'll show you something. It's not brilliant, but it's a little trick. Okay, so there's a drill bit. There's your wood, what would be a handle. We're going to drill down just enough for the depth of what the nut is in terms of its thickness. So something like that. Now, the idea being that you'd have a 6mm bolt going through. So you drill through both scales of a 6mm first, and then using the 10 you open up both sides a little bit. So you'd have a 10mm and then a 6mm going through the handle, through the wood, through the knife blade, and then you'd have a little start of a 6mm hole for your wood and 10mm on the outside. So that would be the outside, and you'd have 6mm going down through for the bolt to travel up and down. So you've got that extra thick little well there. Now the nut won't fit in the hole. It can. It's too big across the corners. But this is the beauty of an engineer hammer. Nut, wood, hammer. Flush fitting. Okay, so that would allow the bolt to come up, and all you got to do is then, when you're sanding or finishing off your outside of your handles, you just dress the top of the nut off as well. Now they're not glued in, the bolt isn't glued in the other side. You could have a washer in the other side to make it neat and tidy. They're just literally bolts going through. You haven't glued them in at all. And the more you tighten it up, the more it only compresses the wood. Remember? Lots of things do that. So it's a way of getting a flush finish with those nuts. And you do the same the other side for your bolt heads. Okay, so I hope that was some use for you. Scott from Wessex Blaze. Bit of a workshop, not exactly a tutorial, but a few tips for Brendan. So check out his channel. It's Surviving to Thriving, STS2T. Young lad, and he's building a log cabin as well. So keep an eye on this young man, because I think he's going to get there. All the best, Scott from Wessex Blaze.